guess you could call this motovlog getting to know SnowDrift, I guess is what we can call it. And I've never been, like, you know, to a doctor to be diagnosed with like ADD or ADHD or whatever, but if I ever went and got told that I had it, I would not be shocked. I really hope my microphone is working. It's been giving me some trouble with the adapter that you have to have for the GoPro. Hope it's working. Last time I checked it was working, but you know, when you buy knockoff stuff and you know, it's a gamble. It may work, it may not, but see, the way I've got my stuff set up, I've got to have a 90-degree angle adapter, and I don't think GoPro actually makes one of those. So yeah, I bought an expensive one off eBay, and that may have been a, you know, a hit or miss on that. Oh yes, that wind. Oh, that wind is so good. Yes, I'm no longer hot. This is great. Hey birds. You guys have no idea how much I hope that that this adapter is working. I mean, I really want it to work. I know I've got a good microphone. I tested it on my computer. We actually had a run-in. Me and my friend Paddy Wagon. He's a fellow motovlogger. We're both very new to the game. This is, if my microphone is working, this is going to be my first official motovlog to the channel. I've got a couple videos on there from the 4th of July and just, you know, my promo video, which, you know, wasn't that great, but I just got new software and I was just playing with it. I tried to do the best I could. I'm pretty familiar with video editing, but I just, like I said, new program, getting used to it. It's Sony Vegas for those that are curious. I really enjoy it though. I really enjoy it. A lot better than what I have been using, which I don't even really remember the name. I've used Windows Media Player as or Windows Movie Magic or whatever. Windows Movie Maker, that. I use that, like, you know, when I was like a freshman in high school for like little projects and things like that. So I'm pretty familiar with some things. Look at that. Yeah, so if you've read my bio on YouTube, it's not a secret that I'm in Tennessee. I'm in a very low part of Tennessee. Very small town. I mean, very small, like you wouldn't believe. It's not as small as probably some other people's. I tend to over-exaggerate slightly, but it's fairly small for what it is. I mean, we don't have any kind of entertainment. We don't have like we used to have a skating rink a long time ago. We don't have a bowling alley or a movie theater. We don't have anything. So, you know, being in a very southern middle Tennessee area, we're going down to Alabama, which, you know, we go down to Alabama a lot for entertainment. Huntsville, Alabama, and I really like Huntsville. You know, I go to Nashville a lot, and me and my girlfriend, Mrs. SnowDrift, if you will, we went up to Cool Springs, Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee yesterday. We ate at this awesome place. It's called Genghis Khan, and it's phenomenal. It is one of the coolest places ever They cook the food right in front of you. It's kind of like a Shogun, if you've ever been to a Shogun. It's so cool. This vlog is kind of scatterbrained, I know. I mean, I'm just sitting here praying that the adapter is working, because I know the microphone's good. I got the microphone off Amazon, thanks to Do It With Dan. You're doing it with Dan, you're doing it with me. I love Do It With Dan. I'm just gonna be honest. He's great. He's fairly new motovlogger too, but he has extremely just exploded within the last year or two that he's been a motovlogger. I mean, I don't think it's been quite 2 years yet, but I know it's been over a year. I was one of his first set of subscribers probably, and I completely ignored those guys on the other side of the interstate. I completely ignored them. I tried to catch the last one, but man, I wave at every single biker I see, no matter what. But that's a completely different subject altogether. Trying to get out a lot of information, I guess, about myself. I guess you could call this motovlog getting to know SnowDrift, I guess is what we can call it. And I've never been, like, you know, to a doctor to be diagnosed with, like, ADD or ADHD or whatever, but if I ever went and got told that I had it, I would not be shocked. And this is a bad intersection. I mean, it's bad. And this dodo brain right here, that car, that silver car up there, if you can see it, yeah, they just pulled over. That silver car right there, try to get on the interstate by turning that way when she could have just hit the loop right there. That's what you're supposed to do, but it's whatever. Do what you want, just don't hit me. Don't hit any biker. Bikers are the coolest people on the planet. But yeah, Do It With Dan. I could name off probably every single motovlogger in existence, because I really don't know what else. Man, stupid blinker. I never noticed the blinker. I always leave it on. It drives me nuts when I look down after like 2 miles driving, like, oh my god, I'm an old person. In my defense though, if you've never ridden a motorcycle, which I'm sure a majority of you will have, if not, you know, will have ridden, if not have a motorcycle, because, you know, who goes looking for a motovlogger that doesn't ride? I mean, come on. They don't turn off automatically like cars do, which makes sense. I mean, you could probably deduce that just from, you know, just general knowledge. I mean, you know, how could it automatically turn it off? I guess there's some way it could be put into place, but it would be inconsistent, because, you know, you don't always have to turn like a full extent, and, you know, it could turn off accidentally, you know, things like that. It's just, you know, it's simpler just to make it to the rider aware. The problem is that, like I said, I've never been diagnosed with any kind of attention deficit, but it wouldn't surprise me if I was, because I've had this bike for a year and 6 months now, and I'm still not good at it. I'm still not good at it. The speed limit's really slow through here. Like, it's stupid slow. It's 35. And my bike speedometer's off by a considerable margin. I'm just gonna go out and say it. The guy that is, I would consider my favorite motovlogger. Hang on, I gotta do this. Yeah. The guy I would consider my favorite motovlogger is probably everyone's very first motovlogger that they ever subscribed to, is Jake the Garden Snake, which, you know, that's probably a given. They're probably like, oh, I bet a lot of you were just like, oh, I'm gonna call it, it's Jake. Because a little history on SnowDrift here. Alright, y'all just go over there. Just head on over there. I've been watching Jake since before I ever thought I would even get a motorcycle. Like, getting a motorcycle never even crossed my mind in my upper teenage years. You know, age, you know, 16, 17. I guess that isn't really upper, but it's higher than mid, so I'm just gonna say upper. So, you know, 17 years old, 18 years old, you know, I never would have dreamed I would get a motorcycle. But I started watching Jake when I was still in high school, which, you know, I guess technically isn't really that long ago, but I'm really close to graduating college now. So, you know, it's been a good minute. But, you know, this is kind of how it started out. You know, I'm a big YouTube junkie, like all of you are. Don't even try to say you aren't. I mean, YouTube is, wow, there's a white Hyundai Genesis right there. That's really cool. Those things are sweet. I got a friend that has one. It's an R-Spec 2-liter turbo. It's an awesome car. It's so cool. You know, I was a big YouTube junkie. A channel that I really, really love. It's probably my favorite channel on YouTube, and I will come out straight out and say it. Hands down, favorite channel on YouTube, Mighty Car Mods. Marty, Moog, if you ever see this, please comment on it. That would be amazing if that happened. Because they ride motorcycles too. They didn't really let on to that. But they do ride. They do ride. But they do more car stuff, obviously. If you even know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go check them out right now. Just pause my video. This is irrelevant. Go check out their stuff. They're amazing. I'm sure a majority of you have heard of them. You know. So, anyway, back to the point. You know, I watch Mighty Car Mods all the time. Like, I've seen every single one of their videos more than twice, guaranteed. But I would always, you know, I'd watch car videos because, you know, I'm more of a car guy than a bike guy. Jake the Garden Snake, he's pretty much the one that inspired me as you know, inspiration goes. But it wasn't just a one-man act. I mean, it wasn't just him that inspired me. I watched Mighty Car Mods, and after I got done watching all of their stuff, I moved on. You know, I became one of those subscribers that waited for a weekly or 2 weekly video to come out. You know, I got to that point. And I started looking at other stuff. I started watching people race, like on 1320. I love watching 1320. They're awesome guys, you know, street racing. Dangerous, but, you know, it's cool to watch. And then I started watching people get pulled over by cops, searching vehicles and gun rights and things like that. I got real big into that for a little while. And then, you know, I watched all those that I could stand. You know, I got tired of them after a while. And then I started watching I started seeing bikers get pulled over. And I watched that. And I'm sure there's this one that I'm sure everyone's seen. It's where this one biker pulls over for a cop politely, and the cop tries to take his GoPro and then, you know, throws him in the back of the police car. I think a lot of people have seen that video. Now, I've seen that one a lot. That was like, if not the first, one of the first that I've seen. And then I got interested. I was like, well, that was cool. You know, then I started watching the Ride of the Century and things like that. That pattern continued. I went from watching shows, a show about cars, to cars racing, to cars getting pulled over, to the rights of searching and gun laws, and then bikes getting pulled over. And then I basically just went backwards. I watched bikes getting pulled over, and then bikes racing and doing wheelies, and then cinematic bike shows, and, you know, like people showing off their bikes and, you know, presenting them to motovloggers. Then I just went on, you know, I went from Jake to, you know, Downshift, Motonosity, 6'4" Honda, Chase on 2 wheels, you know, all of them, and I can't name them all. There's so many. Golly, there's so many. I Am Ramekin, Mischief being one of my favorites because he has a 1000 RR, and it's just the sexiest bike ever. And I really like Mischief's material. I've actually talked to him on, like, you know, Facebook and things like that. Really cool guy. I mean, really cool guy. So, golly, there's so many more. I can't name them all. Spicy 110, Adrian Nickelodeon, Baker X Derrick, Suburban Delinquent, all of them. I mean, I've literally found and subscribed to probably 95% of the motovloggers. I mean, I can't name them all. I mean, if I haven't named you, I'm sorry. But more than likely, I'm subscribed to you, and I love your content. I really do. I'm a huge fan. So with that being said, it was all of you. Do It With Dan is another big guy too. I was one of his first subscribers. I mean, I was probably within the first 1,000, I would say, because I've watched it rise. I mean, I've watched it go up over this past couple years. Stupid blinker. But I've watched him rise so quickly. I mean, good night alive. I mean, he just moved. He's a real stand-up guy. I mean, he's basically the Georgia version of Jake. I mean, except without a supermoto. I mean, other than that, you know, because if I was on a supermoto, I would just cut off through here, right there, and hit that field, whatever. I really want one. But that being said, you know, he's like the streetable version of Jake the Garden Snake. I mean, they're both hilarious, and they had a dual vlog recently. It was hilarious. It was great. Where Jake got pulled over for going on a closed road because it was flooded. It was amazing. It was so funny. I just love those guys. They're really awesome. And I finally got my bike, and then, you know, I didn't even think about motovlogging when I first got it. I just, you know, thought about safety and learning as much as I could, and things like that. You know, I wanted to learn. Motovlogging never really crossed my mind, and then, you know, it slowly started to. I'm like, I would really love to motovlog, but there's a lot to do with it. I bought my first GoPro, this one, and it was the GoPro Hero. It was right when the 4s came out, and it saddened me so much because it was so cheap, and I was just like, oh, this is great, then I could start motovlogging now. It's not microphone compatible. And I was like, are you serious? I bought it not knowing. You know, I didn't never cross my mind. I was just like, that's great. But, you know, I use it. It's one of the cheapest GoPros they've made, if not the cheapest by now. So I use it for when I go to the beach or to the river or whatever. You know, it's waterproof, so I use it for that kind of thing. Family pool parties, things like that. You know, it's perfect for that kind of stuff, because if it breaks, I'm out some money, but not a huge substantial lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are viewing my brand new GoPro Hero 3 Plus Silver Edition. So, and I'm extremely pleased with it. I mean, it takes fairly good quality videos, 1080p at 60 frames a second. Awesome quality videos. I mean, I'm just blown away by it. It's so cool. And it's microphone compatible. So I think, I'm really hoping that you guys are hearing this. Because, you know, cheap adapter, not so cheap microphone. Well, the microphones are pretty cheap. You know, watch Do It With Dan's, you know, video about how he motovlogs. You'll see the one I'm talking about. It's really nice. It's a little lapel, the newer lapel, and I didn't say newer, like, you know, latest and greatest. It's called an NEEWER, a newer lapel microphone, and I've tested it, and it sounds phenomenal. I mean, it's really nice. But anyway, we're about to pull into the Midway Cycle KTM shop. We finally made it! Yay! Oh, just look at all the bikes. So many bikes. I got like a little track right here. It's so cool. Coming in, knee dragging. It's awesome. Boo, 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 boo. Fan.